Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Rono. Senator Cotton, please.
Thank you both for your service and your appearance today. General Cavoli, you testified earlier that 31 Abrams tanks would arrive in Ukraine later in the year. Estimates I've seen say that we're still about 8 months away from that. Is that correct?
No, Senator. The first thing we're going to do is put a training set in.
That starts next month in Grafenwöhr, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then the next set, the dates are moving right now. We're trying to accelerate as much as we can. It'll probably
Are the same tanks at Grafenwöhr going to be the tanks that go to Ukraine?
the first set will not. Those will be training tanks that we keep, and then we'll send a different set in. We did the same thing with Bradley's earlier this year, sir.
Okay. General Van Ovost, have you received an order to transport that second set of tanks to Ukraine yet?
Senator Cotton and I work very closely with European Command to meet all of their requirements in a priority manner. Certainly, we are in coordination on the tanks as well as all the other significant equipment.
Is that a no?
We anticipate the movement, so from an order perspective, we're ready to move it.
Sounds like a no. General Cavoli, you look like you have something to say here.
My command has not issued a specific date for movement for those yet. As soon as we have the exact sourcing pinned down with the timeline, we will issue the actual order for the aircraft.
Why has your command not issued that order?
You know, can I take that for the record, Mr. Cotton? Because I'd like to give you the exact status of it.
I mean, our country has thousands of main battle tanks. It would seem like it's not that hard to find 31 and get them there.
Senator, some of the reasons for that I could cover in closed session, but if I could.
I guess, but I mean, I think the main reason for that is the main reasons why we didn't even agree to supply the tanks for a year, which is that President Biden didn't want to supply them. And again, I think we could supply them faster than 8 or 9 months if there was the political will. This is not a decision for you or General Van Ovost to make. I think it's just reflected from the political decision to continue to drag our feet in what we're supplying to Ukraine. It's just a repeated story we've seen over and over again throughout the course of this war. I want to get to one of the potential reasons for that as well. You talked earlier about submitting new O plans for NATO. It came to my attention earlier this year that we have not changed our O plans or our warfighting requirements in EUCOM for Russia. Is that correct?
Senator, I'm in consultation with the Secretary of Defense on that question right now. The question has been posed to me, and we're working our answer with the staff. I believe I have a date with the Secretary of Defense later this month or next month to discuss it in detail and to come to a conclusion on what timeline we will or will not adjust plans.
So that's a no then. Once again, that's a no. We haven't changed our requirements in the O plan to fight Russia.
Could we discuss exactly what we've done with O plans in closed session, sir?
Again, we can, but I think the question has been answered now. And the reason I highlighted is the committee is continuously told that by the administration, not by uniformed military officers, that we can't provide this, that, or the other weapon to Ukraine because we need it for our own requirements. I understand that, special requirements in the Western Pacific against China. But if we still have the same requirements in place to fight Russia in April of 2023 that we had in February of 2022, after we've seen the performance of their military in Ukraine and after the known degradation of their military in Ukraine, then I think that's just a pretext that the administration is using for not supplying more capabilities to Ukraine. We can get into more detail in closed setting, but I think it's very troubling that the administration is still stuck in the pre-Ukraine war mindset of what it would take for us to adequately deter or defeat Russia in a conflict in EUCOM. One final point I want to raise is the flying of our MQ-9 drones in the Black Sea. Russia dangerously downed one a few weeks back. The reports I've seen and what I've heard from my sources is that we have now altered our flight patterns in the Black Sea, that we are no longer flying in the same airspace where we were flying before that negligent incident with the Russian aircraft. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator. So it was not just negligent; it was not competent. The Russian pilot bumped into the MQ-9, which is not something pilots typically do on purpose. Again, on ISR operations, especially in the Black Sea, I'd be delighted to answer you in detail in closed session.
Well, I asked the Secretary of Defense this recently, and he repeatedly said, we will fly the paths we feel necessary to collect intelligence information.
And those have been his instructions to me.
I understand that, but again, that's not a no when I was asking him that. To me, that's him saying, we're not flying where we were anymore because we don't want to be provocative, which again is a political decision. It's not a military decision. And this is not some secret. I mean, Russia knows where we're flying these aircraft. Like anybody here could find out where we're flying them for the most part just by going on open source information. And the fact that if we were flying those aircraft in certain airspace in the Black Sea before that incident, because that's where we thought we needed to get intelligence, and now we're saying we can get that intelligence by flying them somewhere else where we shouldn't have been flying them there in the first place. But if we needed to get them there to get that intelligence in the first place, then we should be back there. Otherwise, we're simply ceding that airspace to Russia. So my time's expired. I guess we'll address more of these in a closed setting.
Thank you, Senator.
Hey, before you click on the next video, if y'all could do me a big favor and hit that like button. The algorithm loves it, and so do I, because it helps promote these videos and get the message out about what our government has been doing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because every time I put out a video, you want to know about it, right? Thanks again, and have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.